The mindset of a fighter. A chosen path of immense glory or unbearable pain, where you put everything on the line, from your legacy to your physical health. One blow is all it takes to end a career, to send someone to the hospital, to permanently alter their life forever. It's not an easy sport, and most who participate wouldn't call it a sport to begin with. It's kill or be killed. Fighters stand alone. It's spiritual. It's you and only you, and you must have a belief in yourself. You must believe that you can outclass your opponent. You must believe that your hard work and training will pay off as you expect. You must believe that the dark side of fighting, the losses, the damage, the pain, won't happen to you. Muhammad Ali said, "Life is a gamble. You can get hurt, but people die in plane crashes, lose their arms and legs in car accidents. People die every day. Same with fighters. Some die, some get hurt, some go on. You just don't let yourself believe it'll happen to you." A fighter's mind must be impenetrable. Their will must be iron strong. They need to have absolute faith in their ability and skill. They must face everything their opponent throws at them, both physical and mental, and reign victorious. Winston Churchill said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." A true fighter rises to the occasion. A true fighter gains strength as their fight goes on. A true fighter stays calm in the chaos. To be like the rock that the wave keeps crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it, Marcus Aurelius. They need to have won the fight before they enter the ring. They must have won the mental game before they face their opponent. They must strike fear, uncertainty and doubt in the mind of their adversary. They must get to their adversary before their adversary gets to them. Sun Tzu said, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." How to be a supreme fighter? Win the fight before the fight has happened. It's not all about landing and throwing big shots. Training is not just about hitting the pads hard. There must be more to it than just the physical. Fights involve mental game. A fighter must have every base covered. There needs to be a strategy. Before the fighter must engage in mental games to throw their opponent off. Their opponent must not believe that they can beat them. Fighters must use intimidation to defeat their opponent before the fight takes place. A fighter must strike fear in the heart of their opponent and overawe them into submission. Sun Tzu says, "Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win." They must become the worst thing in their opponent's world. Their opponent's every thought must be about them and leave behind a taste of fear and dread. The aim is to go into the fight as the most ferocious, destructive force you can be. Fighters must impose their will on another physically and become a tyrant, because if they don't, their opponent will do the same to them. It's do or die, fight or flight, and they must be as intimidating as possible. They must pose a threat that weighs heavy on a person, so heavy that all they think about is the suffering waiting for them in the future. The pressure must be so consuming that they respond emotionally and attempt to escape through irrationality and weak actions. George Bernard Shaw said, "Hatred is the coward's revenge for being intimidated." If someone cannot beat you, hatred is their only weapon. They'll attempt to beat you with their negative opinion rather than with their fists. At this point, that is all they can manage, and they know they've lost. A fighter doesn't fight to be liked. They fight to be respected. Once a fighter knows that they're in their opponent's head, once they know that their training and preparation enhance their aura and presence, once they know that their intimidation tactics have worked, they have won the fight before it even happens. Theodore Roosevelt said, "If you've got them by the balls, their hearts and minds will follow. If you penetrate your will into their minds where they are weak, you can influence their thoughts. Intimidation weighs heavy and drags the weak-minded down where they are most vulnerable. This is where the fighter strikes and gains in strength. Half the battle is mental. Intimidation is not an act. Seasoned fighters see through the masks. Intimidation is foundational. It comes from the base a fighter builds for themselves in the gym. It comes from the confidence in their abilities. It comes from the belief in themselves through the wars they've survived. That is true confidence. When someone is so prepared, their presence puts them on another level. When the audience can feel the dominance radiate from them. When the sheer sight of them puts fear in everyone around. When they complete their training camp and they come out a different person, seemingly gone through a spiritual transformation. Muhammad Ali said, "The fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, behind the lines, in the gym, and out there on the road, long before I dance under those lights."